We share a universal drive for stability and genuine connection, yet the modern baseline has become a state of quiet crisis, defined by a persistent sense of disillusionment and fractured relationships. This widespread suffering stems from a societal expectation that life should be easy and that love is an involuntary state we simply fall into. We are conditioned to view any struggle as a mistake rather than a requirement. Psychiatrist M. Scott Peck challenged this mindset in his 1978 work, The Road Less Traveled, which serves as a clinical rebuttal to the search for an effortless existence. This introductory passage presents a blunt three-word starting point: life is difficult. Peck argues that the moment we truly accept this reality, the difficulty ceases to be a problem. The struggle loses its power over us because we no longer expect a life without it. When we treat pain as something to be avoided at all costs, we fall into a trap. That constant search for the easy way out is the primary mechanism that keeps us locked in a cycle of suffering. Peck identifies a biological downward pull in the human mind called psychological entropy. It is our inherent tendency toward laziness, the instinct to bypass responsibility and choose the path of least resistance whenever possible. Relying on this instinct causes our internal maps of reality to stagnate. We end up trying to solve the complex challenges of adulthood using the outdated emotional shortcuts of our childhood. Reversing this decline requires what Peck calls quiafam, or discipline. Far from self-punishment, these are active tools used to solve the problems of living. This involves delaying gratification to face necessary pain immediately and taking total responsibility for our choices. This mental rigor requires a total dedication to the truth. We have to constantly update our worldview to match the world as it actually exists, even when the new information is deeply uncomfortable to accept. Peck views this discipline as the primary engine of human evolution. Without a willingness to endure the friction of growth, we begin to psychologically and spiritually degrade. This same laziness infects our relationships through the myth of romantic infatuation, the idea that love is a passive state of falling. Clinical psychology often identifies these initial sparks as a temporary collapse of ego boundaries, or a form of dependency driven by the fear of loneliness, rather than an expression of actual love. Peck places love firmly in the realm of work and courage. As highlighted here, love is a conscious choice, separate from fluctuating feelings. He defines it as the act of extending oneself to nurture another's spiritual growth, an active commitment beyond emotional highs. This commitment requires respecting a partner's independence and having the self-control to engage in necessary conflict. It is a strenuous effort to help another person reach their full potential. Under this definition, love becomes the ultimate expression of discipline. It is the exhausting choice to foster growth over the comfort of a passive connection. Combining discipline with this active form of love allows an individual to break out of a narrow, egocentric existence and begin a rapid expansion of consciousness. This growth eventually leads to the concept of grace. Peck suggests that subtle form of assistance. He views grace as a natural serendipity, unconscious miracles, and evolutionary forces that seem to rush in to support anyone who is actively striving to grow. This creates a dynamic tension within every human mind. On one side is the destructive drag of entropy and laziness. On the other is the upward evolutionary flow of love and grace. Every day is a choice between sliding back into the ease of ignorance or fighting for the further evolution of the soul. This continuous expansion of awareness is the primary goal of human existence, reaching a state of maturity that recognizes the interconnectedness of all life. Peck frames the universe itself as a ladder. The challenges we face act as the necessary rungs we must cross to achieve true spiritual freedom. Because this path offers no shortcuts and demands constant effort, it remains a road that very few people are willing to take. Growth requires looking directly at the difficulty of your current circumstances. By taking absolute responsibility and choosing the more demanding path, you enter the only process that results in a